it was just starting to fucking eat at me mentally. I'm like, I'm not going to wake up early to stress myself out to try and get this thing that I'm probably not going to get. So I just like, fuck you guys. Get out of here.
There's so many times I've been on the train, like just sitting there on the train, and I'm just like, fuck, out of nowhere. And I'm like, sorry, everybody. Sorry.
Today, we talk about... Now, I want to ask you about this profile pic of yours where you're holding up, I think, the sneakers that you're wearing right now. Is there something to that? Is this just like
that was actually at Limestone, the comedy festival I did a couple of, when was that? Like June, this past June.
Okay.
And they had I think it's Small and Tall Photography. They're just like really good photographers in Bloomington, Indiana, where the festival is. And they did headshots for people. And I don't know, I like shoes a lot. So I was like, I'm going to try and get a headshot or get like a picture, like a nice headshot I can use to promote with a pair of shoes I like. And those are like these are the newest pairs of shoes I have. So I was like, I'll do that.
I haven't seen these shoes. These are the Puma what?
They're the Hirachis. They're actually Hirachi. Oh, they're like Hirachi grips.
Oh shit, they are Nikes. I thought I saw a Puma logo on the back of them. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what's like your go-to sneakers?
I mean, I like a lot of Nikes. I own a lot of Nikes. I'm not a big Adidas fan. I own a couple of, like the Ultra Boost doesn't do much for me. I mean, it's like a cool shoe, and there's some cool colorways or whatever. But I like Nike a lot. Like I like the Hirachi because there's something about the way the Hirachi looks. Like these look like armor in a video game to me. Like I love the zip up and like the straps and
technical as fuck, man. Tech wear is in right now.
Yeah, tech wear I love that. So I don't know. I like. I guess these are like definitely my newest, but these are my favorite. I don't wear these too much.
Do you go for like limited hype type of releases?
I do. I don't have any good. I have really bad luck. Like I have really bad luck overall. Not just with shoes, but I enter all the raffles. I have like a couple. I have my phone. I have like a couple iPhones or like iPads or whatever that I have the app, so I like run 3 of them at once, and I never have any luck.
Nothing. No, same thing happens to me. I to the point where I just stopped. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy resale, I guess, and that's just what it is. Yeah,
I wish I could. There's so many shoes I missed out on that kill me.
Yeah, no, that's why it is a blessing again to be able to have access to that, regardless. But yeah, dude, it was just starting to fucking eat at me mentally. I'm like, I'm not going to wake up early to stress myself out to try and get this thing that I'm probably not going to get. So I just like, fuck you guys. Get out of here.
There's so many times I've been on the train, like just sitting there on the train, and I'm just like, fuck, out of nowhere. And I'm like, sorry, everybody. Sorry.
What's something you really wanted that you missed out on?
I mean, all the Off-White, any Off-White thing. I love like the Off-White, the Halloween.
Oh, the All Hallows Eve, dude.
God, yeah.
Gorgeous shoe.
It was so bad. And I love the Prestos. Like the Prestos are incredible.
Off-White Prestos?
Yeah.
By far one of the, as far as like hype to comfort ratio, it's like up there as one of my top 3 probably.
Oh my God. Yeah, those to me are so fucking sick. Yeah, pretty much any of the Off-White things I like. There was a couple, John Mayer wears them a lot. They look a lot like these, not the Vapor Max, I don't think.
He had a Vapor Max colorway that, so when Acronym put out their Vapor Max.
That's the one, the Acronym, those are the ones. The pink one, they're like pink, green, and blue.
The Prestos, you mean?
No, maybe they are. I can't remember now. I've kind of blocked them out of my mind because it made me too upset to think about
Pink, green, and blue. Unless you're talking about
I'll look them up.
I know he made his own, what do you call it? A Nike ID.
Yeah.
That looked like a Super Soaker type of thing. And it had I think it was a Air Max Force 270, something like that. I have those. Oh, you do?
Yeah, the Air 270 is like the green. It has like the green bubble with the orange.
I think it's something like that.
I have those.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw him bragging about those. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he posted them. I bought them immediately.
Yeah, no, he's got taste, man.
Yeah, it's super legit. These right here. One of these blue ones. Oh, fuck.
Oh, those. Okay, yeah, the Prestos. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the Prestos. Yeah.
So those are the newer, I don't want to say 2.0 Acronym Prestos, but like the first set of releases, he went nuts for too. Like the one I have, which is like the hot lava.
Yeah.
I think it's that first one right next to it.
Yeah,
that one. And then the olive one is by far like the most popular, just because it's the most wearable. But for me, I have so many other olive shoes. I was like, fuck, I don't need that. But like, I love the wild color combinations because like I never see them elsewhere. And because I have so many other like muted things to wear, I don't really care about buying the louder stuff because like I can, not afford, but like I can tolerate having a few loud pieces because I have so many other pieces to choose from. If it was my only pair of sneakers, I wouldn't, obviously wouldn't do it. That'd be kind of dumb.
That's the thing I would love to do too. Is like I have a decent shoe collection. It's okay, but one of my goals is to have enough shoes I can wear a different pair every day of the month, and I want to be able to like look at a pair of shoes and not have to be like, it's not practical as far as the color. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, there's so many shoes I've looked at where I'm like, these are cool, but it's like I cannot wear these.
It's not practical. Yeah.
It's not practical. I can't. The clothes I'd have to wear these is not going to be.
Right.
It's not
Yeah,
sustainable or whatever.
that's kind of like me with my favorite pair, which is the Red Octobers. So like they're not practical whatsoever. Like, and their whole all red craze is over. Like that was fucking 2015, 2014. So
Yeah, I bought those all red Huaraches.
yeah, see, it
Yeah.
like caused this huge craze with all red shoes, but like you just can't do it anymore on a routine basis.
Yeah.
So I have like 1 to 2 outfits that I save for those shoes for like special occasions, but outside of that, yeah, I just can't really.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's my favorite, so fuck it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to ask you is, as far as sneaker influencers, do you look to any of them? You mentioned John Mayer, like, oh shit, I gotta get those. But like, do you follow anyone in particular where you're like, yo, I like this guy's taste?
Honestly, no, I'm not too keyed into that. I would like to be more, but I don't really follow. I have like a bunch of the apps, and I kind of just follow a couple sneaker like Instagrams, but I couldn't name people.
Gotcha.
I definitely follow some Instagrams. So I'm like, I like this.
Yeah,
That, and
I mean, John Mayer's a cool one for me just because he, the taste is there. But honestly, man, I find him hilarious. I think he's like one of the funniest, smartest fucking fuckers ever.
I agree. I think he's very funny. I think people hate on him because he's John Mayer, and he's like.
That's the other thing. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Soothing voice, great song catalog.
Yep.
He's fucked every girl I ever wished of fucking.
That's why people hate him. That's why exactly these are the reasons people hate him.
I guess. I mean, just fucking get over him, man.
He's killing it. Yeah. We'll leave it on
be
that.
friends with him instead of hating him. That way, maybe you'll, get some access to the
rub off on
genius.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I see him like, hanging out with Jeff Ross and stopping into the Comedy Cellar apparently years ago.
When he performs at like JFL, he did like a bunch of shows at JFL with
Did
like,
he?
Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because they do have the Dangerous Tour?
Yeah.
Controlled Danger, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I would love to go to one of those if they, kind of came around.
Yeah.
I think I just missed that wave.
And I remember being in high school. Dave Chappelle for me is a huge comedy influence because I remember watching like Chappelle show in high school, and there was that John Mayer was on there.
Oh
a
yeah,
couple
the
times.
barbershop.
Yeah, the
episode,
barbershop. John Mayer was on that. I mean, it's great. Like,
Dude, yeah, it's amazing. And this is another reason that I love pushing the comedy boundary more than what I'm doing in my medical career. Because listen, I could advance in my medical career, become like a hospital administrator, or fucking like invent some new patent for some new device technique for the endoscopies I do, or whatever. But it just, something about it just doesn't drive me. I just feel like my ceiling with that is so low compared to the things that like I want in life. So like I feel like with comedy, even though it's harder to do, the ceiling is so much higher to like potentially meet certain people, like a John Mayer, or be invited to something that you never would have dreamed being invited to,
Right.
these exclusive type of things that money can't buy,
Oh,
so it's like
that's the thing for me. That's a big thing for me. I would. That's like the stuff that money can't buy is very. It's very enticing. To me. Like,
and especially to be considered funny by people is like the biggest, most flattering thing. It's like, oh, let's hang out with him because he's funny. I want to spend more time with this person.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and I don't know how much of that translates to like, oh, well, he's only funny on stage, so fuck this guy. It's like,
right.
I don't know.
There definitely is some of that. I don't know. But I love that sort of shit though, because it's like I have like my family. I have a weird relationship with not my immediate family, but my like cousins and stuff like that, and they're all like nurses, and they're all very like well off for the most part. Yeah, very professional, whatever. And I remember being in like younger in high school or whatever, and when I just started comedy, they're like, "What, are you just not going to go to college?" And I didn't go to college. I started stand up, and I was like, "This is what I'm going to do." And they were always like, made me kind of feel bad. And I got. I did a show once. I'm a big basketball fan. I love the Pacers, and so the GM for Pacers, or he doesn't even play for us anymore. Orlando Johnson, I think it was Orlando Johnson, yeah. And he was in the audience, and I was like, hey, after the end of the show, I was like, hey man, I'm a big fan, big Pacers fan. Cool to see you in the audience, whatever. He was like, yeah, that was great. And then the next night, the vice president for Pacers marketing came in. And he was like, hey, Orlando was here last night. He said he had a good time. And I was like, yeah, it's nice to meet him, whatever. And he goes, hey, anytime you wanted to come to a game, you let me know. And for like 3 years, I got free tickets to Pacers games all the time. I sat courtside. I sat under the basket. We got
That's what's
food.
up.
I got all hooked up. And the whole time I was just like, what would you pay for your tickets? I got these because I got so good at something that somebody gave them to me for free.
Right.
Like that really does push me. That drives me to like do comedy.
Dude, that's a great motivator / incentive, especially when your family, because the sad thing is your family is looking out for your best interest. Unfortunately, their vision for you is like their lifestyle, and if like you're not following it, they make you feel bad, even though that's not the purpose. They think they're trying to help you, which almost makes it worse. It's like, fuck, man, like,
right.
Try to understand me. Because I have the same thing, man. Like my entire family's in the math science world, so it's like it's weird to hear like what are you doing,
Right.
So there's that, and I haven't had any validating Lakers tickets. I'm a big Lakers fan, so so I haven't had any Lakers courtside tickets yet, but maybe we'll see. Maybe LeBron will come.
It's truly one of the best
me.
things that's ever happened to me in comedy.
Dude, that's pretty dope.
It's unreal.
That's pretty dope. That's been my dream. My dream was to catch Kobe courtside before he retired. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So my new goal is to try and catch LeBron and this stacked fucking Lakers team courtside at MSG. That would be fucking super dope.
Yeah, that's where we went and saw Pacers Knicks. We were sitting across from like Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, like everybody on the other side. It was unreal.
Dude, that's
and
great.
I bought a buddy of mine, and I didn't look at the tickets before I got them really. Like I downloaded them, and we were like walking, and I was like, I think these are pretty good seats. And then we like walked into this lower mezzanine level, and they were like, excuse me, can we help you? And I was like, yeah. And I showed them the tickets, and they were immediately like, well, right this way. And I was like, holy shit. And we like moved down, and I was immediately like, man, I'm glad you're here, but if I'd known these were this good, I would have brought a woman with
chick,
me.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, god damn it. I should have brought a woman here.
Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, I definitely would have looked at the tickets, and I'll tell you why.
I look at them every time now.
Yeah, right. Thanks, no thanks. If it's a fucking bleeder seat, it was free, cool, but I'm not going. I refuse. The first time I ever went to an NBA game was at MSG. I was a fucking high schooler. I just felt cool enough that some big group of dudes wanted to go to New York City for a night and go catch a game. And then we literally I'm literally saying the last row of the last section against the wall. Yeah. I brought binoculars, still could barely see the Jumbotron. Yeah. And I'm just like, what kind of experience is this? This is fucking horseshit. No offense to the people that can only afford that and are happy enough just for that. But like for me, I expect better for myself. So I'm just the kind of guy where like I see people doing cooler shit than me. And I'm just like, why do you get to do the coolest shit? I want to do cool shit too. Yeah. Why can't I do cool shit?
I'm with you on that.
So I promised myself I'd never go to another game unless it was like fantastic fucking seats. So the closest I got was I was in Miami with some buddies for spring break, and they're all being bitches. So I was like, fuck it, man, I'll pay for it. Let me rent a couple scooters. We'll be able to hum around town, just fucking explore like we wouldn't have before. And next thing you know, we find ourselves in downtown, and then we see the the AAA Center or American Airlines Arena or whatever, and they were like, fuck it, maybe there's a game going on. Let's go scalp tickets. We scalp tickets, go in, and then we find that one entrance where no one's watching, and we snuck down because they were doing horrendous at this time. So this was pre-LeBron and all that stuff. So we go down there, and like we were able to sneak into like legit just 11 rows behind courtside, which I can't say it compares at all to courtside, I imagine, but it was just like being that close compared to what I had at fucking MSG. I'm like, holy shit, these guys are fucking monsters. I'm
also,
like, Jesus.
It gets to a point where it's like you're close, and I mean, courtside is courtside, obviously, but it gets to a point where it's like you're there. It's almost there.
Yeah. No, I mean, and especially for what we paid, it was just like, this is amazing. Yeah. But because for courtside, we'd have to pay fucking, I don't know how many $1,000, even for that shitty team.
Right.
So, and they were playing another shitty team. It was like Orlando versus Miami. Dwayne Wade was hurt. I can't remember if Dwight Howard was still playing or if he was hurt. But like, I mean, you would still see them on the side. Like, Jesus Christ, these guys are humongous.
Yeah.
So that was a cool experience. But yeah, man, my goal is to try and catch one of these fucking courtside games, man.
Yeah,
That'd be
the
dope.
best. That's there's so many weird shit like that, like so many things like that in comedy where it's like, what a unique weird thing. I did a show at a CBD pop up a couple weeks ago. It sounded awful, but it was so much fun.
No, I don't think it sounds awful at all. I think it sounds hilarious.
It was awesome.
CBD pop-up.
Have you seen it's like Recess is the CBD. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
I don't know how you feel about CBD. I don't really know. But.
I've been promising my audience I'll look into it for one of my more medical segments. Yeah. But I really haven't done any research on it because I just don't. Nah. But from what I hear, everything sounds pretty positive. But as far as like the true medical data analysis, I haven't done that yet. Yeah. And even if I were to do it, it would be like a piss poor job, but at least I'd try to make it funny or something, or interesting.
Yeah. So
but yeah, nothing I've heard negative so far.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know. I mean, people seem to be into it. I drank one before I went on stage, and I was like, I could kind of feel this.
I tried it, and maybe I was just off because I had really poor sleep the night before, but I tried it, and it almost made me more sleepy. I was like, I thought this was supposed to energize me and cure me of paranoia and anxiety and all this other bullshit. I
definitely was on stage feeling very I don't know, baseline in a good way.
But it's technically not supposed to have psychoactive components. So what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I'll do some more research, I guess. Let's see. What else was I gonna ask you about, man? You mentioned how I'm headlining some gigs here and there. How does that go about? Like, do you have an agent, a manager? Like,
No, I don't have a manager. I don't have an agent. Everything.
so you just independently reach out to clubs like, hey, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm not headlining any clubs. That's the different thing. It's like clubs are a whole other thing.
Okay.
Clubs, you have to have like a credit. You have to kind of have somebody bring you in. I mean, having an agent manager helps you get clubs way more.
Have you ever had one or
No.
No. Okay.
No. I just reach out to. So I went to Denver in January. My New Year's resolution this year. I'm not a big New Year's resolution person, but this year I was like, I'm going to travel to do as much comedy as I can. So that's what I've been doing. So I went to Denver in January, and I had a great time. I did a couple shows here and there, and I came back, and a bunch of my friends were like, "Did you do this show?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Did you do this show?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Did you do this show?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Well, you got to go back and do these." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go back." And so I just booked.
So these are just like bar shows?
Well, some of them, I'm headlining a couple shows in some breweries. There's a show in Fort Collins, which is like amazing. There's these two shows on Sunday called in Boulder. There are two shows. I think they hold like 100 and something people each. They both sell out. It pays. It's one of the best shows in the country, from what I've been told.
Interesting.
So I didn't get to do that last time, so I'm going to do that. So I just reached out to them.
Yeah, but that's interesting because like if you're selling it like it's this amazing show and it's always sold out, so I imagine they don't have trouble finding comics that want to go there, right?
Definitely not.
So what's going to make you stand out really to when you reach out to them and they'll be like, yeah, sure.
Well, so the only reason I reached out to them, it's kind of sucks because it's like you have to like. I went out there the first time, and you kind of have to prove yourself to people.
Right.
So then you go out there and you prove yourself, and you come back. It's an easier trip. For the Boulder show, I saw the people there, and I did well in front of them, and I didn't get much back. But then I did Limestone, and one of the people that helped book the show was at Limestone. They saw me do well at the festival.
I see.
So then I reached out, and they were like, booked immediately, not even a question. They were like, yeah, these are the dates. Here you go. That was the first show I booked of the trip, actually, was these two shows.
Gotcha.
So it's all about just proving and showing what you can do. And I don't know, I feel like people look at me and assume a lot about me. So it's like I really feel like I have to bring comedy and show what I can do. And
well, I'm assuming you submit tapes and this
I
and that,
have
right?
the tapes, and it all plays into it. Instagram and all that stuff plays into getting booked and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, but I just I sent out some stuff. I got some recs from people. I know a lot of people out in Denver. So it's like, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I'm going to go to like probably Boston or Nashville or somewhere else before the end of the year.
And did they put you up in hotels and stuff, or is that all on you?
That's on me. I just find people to stay with because a lot of the stuff is like, I can't afford to stay in a hotel for the whole trip.
Right,
so I will just find people that will be like friends of mine. Like I know a friend of mine, Nick Dean, he's out there, and I'll be like, hey, I need a place to stay, and he'll reach out to one of his friends, and who are comics, and they'll let me stay with him because it's like,
Dude, that's a dope thing about comedy too, is like just making these networks where like you always have a place to go and people to talk to and all that kind of shit. That's
Right.
so cool.
Comics helping comics, and a lot of these people too. It's like they're gonna maybe move to New York, so it's like they would be down to meet a friend.
Yeah,
to,
right.
To,
Yeah,
if they ever
absolutely.
moved to New York.
Yeah,
Plus,
I mean,
being from New York, people are like,
ooh.
exactly. Being from New York, people are like, wow, very
Yeah,
impressive.
right.
It's like pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I definitely get that vibe too. Even just being a person, or I guess, I am a doctor, so like I'm sure that adds this little mystique to me that like I don't think I deserve at all, but like you'll tell people out in Iowa that I'm from New York, and they'll be like, oh, it's just like, dude, it's just a place. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but also it's like being a doctor is huge everywhere. Even if
Yeah.
you were a doctor in Iowa, people are like, wow. But then you're a doctor in one of the fucking the one of the hardest cities I would imagine to be a doctor in. That's even bigger. It's
Yeah.
like being a lawyer here.
Yeah, but it's kind of not, because for medicine at least, it's like it's very saturated. So everyone and their mom wants to be here. There's only so many hospitals and so many opportunities. So, and even then, it's a supply demand thing. So like you don't make nearly as much here as you would in like bumblefuck areas in the
Really?
country, which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, I guess so. I never
like
thought
they,
like
they
that.
have a bigger demand for your services out there because no one else is there. So now when someone gets sick out there, they're like flying helicopters out to like a tertiary care center like 100 miles away.
Wow.
And it's like, the cost would be much lower if they could just have someone come in.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yeah, so-
But yeah, you're absolutely right though. I mean, people here, you live here. That's how crazy New York is though. Just living here, people are like, that's impressive. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's literally all I do here, is just live here.
Yeah.
Because I'm working only in Iowa. It's a pretty sweet gig. 2 weeks a month out there, 2 weeks a month here, typically. Occasionally 3 and 1 or 1 and 3. But yeah, when I'm here, I'm just doing comedy or playing PlayStation. Like that's
great.
Yeah, that's what I do. But I definitely got to do more of the comedy stuff because I've definitely hit a rut where like I just don't feel funny. I don't, it's like a whole thing. But
That'll come and go forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been through it being 5+ years in. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just the toughest part, especially for me, man. Because like it's one thing for you starting so young. You're still young and you're this many years in, right? For me, it's like I know I'm going to be better 10 years in, but like, dude, in fucking 10 years, I'm going to be 42. You know, it's like fuck.
Well, that's the thing, though. You were kind of talking about the move to New York. People always want to move to New York sooner. I wish I'd started stand up sooner.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what people say too. Is like, oh, no matter what year you start, you think you should have started sooner.
Exactly.
I totally get it, but
because I remember being young and people think by the time you're 30, you will have been doing this by 10 years.
Right.
I'm 28 now. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's. The other thing too is like for me being older, it's like hitting those plateaus where you're not as funny for a while until like you get better enough. Because it's like I felt like when I first started, I noticed the growth very drastically from like mic 0 to mic 50, but then from mic 150 to 1,000, I could only maybe, instead of going up this much, I maybe went up like this much. I still improved, but like it was a lot less of a steep boost, which kind of sucks. But what are you gonna do? The flip side is, I guess I have a nice little living, so I have to keep reminding myself of that. But I don't know, man. It's just like it's still kind of frustrating.
Like one of my favorite comedians, Nick Griffin, he takes me on the road to open for him sometimes. He's money can't buy you happiness. He said, but at least I can be sad in a nice apartment.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time.
Or I like the other one where it's, I heard a new one recently, new spin on it. It goes, money can't buy you happiness, but you can certainly rent it. It's like one of those things. So I like that one.
That's funny.
And yeah, money's such a touchy subject too, because like I didn't have a lot of it growing up, and I got made fun of and kind of not ostracized, but like kids are talking about cable. They find out you don't have cable, now you're not cool. You can't afford the Adidas or the Nikes, you're not cool. Yeah. And then you're like, all right, I guess I need to make a fuck ton of money. And then you do that, and then now you hang out with people that don't make any, and now they hate you for having too much money. It's like, fuck, man.
You can't win.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious talking to Tim Dillon, because like he has that whole angle. It's like, give me your money. I want all the money. It's and his perspective is so like in dire contrast to mine, which I'm like, I'm always looking for like the positives in life, and he's always looking at the negatives and the cynical view. And you need both. You need like both forces, because not everything is roses and not everything is fucking terror. But like especially things like swindlers and what's not crooks? What's the right word? Con artists and shit. People like Tim Dillon are going to be able to sniff those people out much quicker than someone like me. I'll be like, oh, his intentions are good. It's like, no, dude, you got to fucking have some balance here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know why I brought that up.
No, I think that's interesting. I mean, that's like a definitely unique perspective. It's because it's like people assume it's like, I just need to make money and then I'll be happy. And it's like everyone thinks that, but it's like,
no, I've had plenty of lonely nights despite this view.
Yeah.
Hanging out up here alone. But that's just life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Everything becomes normal eventually. This is just your normal now, which is fine. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like I'm constantly trying to improve and evolve. So like I want a bigger place eventually. I want even more shoes. I want this thing to grow. I want to be a better comedian. I want to be a better doctor. I want to be, all these other things. So it's just constantly wanting more, which in some levels is healthy, but in other ways it's kind of unhealthy. I'm jealous of people that are just like, duh, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust those people.
Fair enough. All right, man. Let's wrap this up, because I do want to do this sneaker segment with you too, which is sometimes the funner part. But tell us where we can find you.
I have a website, mattbaggesucks.com.
That's hilarious. You decided to make that your website.
Yeah.
Dude, an Instagram handle is one thing, but hey, Booker, here's my website, isuck.com.
To me, when I did it in my mind, it's like a very cocky thing to do. In my mind. In my mind, I'm like, I don't suck. So it's like, this will be funny. It's a funny joke. I'm very good at comedy.
And then if you do actually suck, then people will be like, wow, he's very self-aware. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. MattBaggesucks.com, MattBaggesucks on Instagram. Please check out Hold My Bread. We're going to relaunch in September. At the beginning of September, we're going to have new episodes out. It's going to be great. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, Twitter, Matt Backus. Not Matt Backus.
That sucks. Then.
No, sucks.
Yeah, you fucked up. All right, cool. Who was someone else took it? Shittier Matt Backus.
No, there is a Matt Backus who's like an actor, and he sucks.
Interesting.
I don't really know if he sucks. He knows I'm out there.
Boom. I don't know why this thing is
I didn't
delayed.
even notice that. Shit. All right, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. Fucking delay. All right, yeah, thanks for tuning in, you guys, and we'll see you around. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave a review, 5 stars, reviews, Stitcher, podcast app, helps out a lot. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, all that shit. Thanks, bye. Peace.